Hello everyone. I got a few requests for a video about Winterfest, so I wanted to put something together for you all about that. So let's take a look. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the unique features of Winterfest, which is one of the biggest events of the year on Hero Wars Web and Facebook. I'll talk about the main sources of value that you'll get out of this thing, and a tool that I put together that might help you with some of your gift exchanges, and a quick list of the dailies that you'll want to hold off on. Alright, so what are the features of this event? The primary function, I think, of this is to send presents to either yourself or your guildmates, although I would encourage you to send them to guildmates whenever possible, because there is a ranking system for gift exchanges, and if you're sending them to other people, you might get some bonus features out of that. And you get some hero soul stones for sending them to other people, and I'm not certain whether you still get them if you send the gifts to yourself. But anyway, so there's the gift exchange, and then decorating the guild tree. And both of those things involve some unique coins and resources that apply to just this event. There are Winterfest baubles, which come out of the event tasks, and you can buy them directly through emeralds, and that gives you Winterfest coins, and you can spend the coins on sending out those gifts. So basically, anytime you're trading in baubles for coins or emeralds for coins, that's referred to as decorating the guild tree, and that will give everyone in your guild some presents as the tree levels up. And there's also a ranking system for guilds, and the guilds who decorate the tree the most will get some kind of prize. I've had a hard time finding exact information on the full prize list for guilds and the whole tree for the player side of things as well, for sending and receiving gifts. I know that on the player side you do have the chance of winning a totem fragment if you're on the top end of that list. The first few positions have a totem fragment of their choice, and then the next few have a random fragment, and then there are some other prizes below that. I'm not sure what the guild prizes are. They're probably not quite that big, but I'm sure there'll be something nice. Alright, and then there's a mini game which is hidden throughout. There are little things to click on, similar to what you may have seen in Summerfest and Spooky Festival and one or two of the other events. But anyway, within chapters 1, 2, and 12, there's a little thing that you can click on to play a mini game. And then when someone pays 10,000 emeralds to get 50,000 Winterfest coins, that'll set off some fireworks on the main screen of the game, the Strongford Square. And at that time, there'll be another clickable item that you can hit as the fireworks are going off to complete all those mini games. And you have to, from what I understand, complete all 4 of those in the same game session. You can't do the chapter 1 and then log off and then come back. You'd have to do all 4 of them all over again. So, you might pick a time where you've got some time at the keyboard to make sure you get all those things done at once. Alright, gift exchange rankings, I touched on that briefly already. The event runs for 14 days, unlike most of the others that we've seen, but it is broken up into a few different pieces. So there is waiting for the holiday event for the first 7 days, and then Wintertail is, this is incorrectly listed here, it's actually on days 8 through 14. And then Holiday Every Day is 1 to 14. So the Holiday Every Day spans all 14, and then the other 2 are week 1 and week 2. Alright, so what's the value of the tasks? And I'm not going to get into the same level of depth as I often do here, purely because most of the value of these things are somewhat or completely unknown. There's going to be an Asgard resource gift that you can exchange with your guild, but We don't have any information on exactly what's in there or what quantities they drop. Does it contain seeds or just the insignia in crystal or just the crystal? Which levels of those? We don't know, and we don't know the quantities. And I don't have any information yet on even the quantities for the old gifts. If it's like one Titan Soul Stone, then that's not going to be very good. But if it's 100, then some of those things could be really good or really bad. So for anything that I'm going to talk about here in terms of emerald value, as most of the prizes in the event are these baubles or Winterfest coins. There are some traditional resource types as well, but a lot of it is the Winterfest baubles and coins. The value that I'm going to talk about is just what it would cost you to buy those baubles or coins directly, which is an exchange rate of 1 emerald for 5 of the Winterfest resource. And again, if it turns out that those gifts are junk, then they'll be less valuable. If the gifts are really good, then they'll be more valuable than what I'm going to talk about. The only one I know for sure is the skins, which we could talk about now, since you are getting a skin, which normally costs 5,000 skin stones. So that's the value I'm putting on the skin gifts. And once you max out and you get all of the skins, you get 1,500 skin stones. So you can use that value as well. My numbers are all going to talk about getting a skin as opposed to the skin stones. All right, so let's move into some of the specific charts. Okay, so a lot of the tasks within Winterfest here are kind of a low direct value, and by direct value I mean there's a task in Winter or Waiting for the Holiday and Wintertail for spending emeralds, and there's a spend energy task within Wintertail, and they give you a certain set of rewards. The rewards that they give you are not directly all that valuable. As you can see here, the Waiting for the Holiday and Wintertail are on the right end of each section of the graph here, much lower than any of the other couple of events that I've listed here. So that would suggest that this maybe isn't the best place in the world to spend emeralds, but there are other event tasks that'll kind of double reward you for these things, at least up to some extent. So if you're looking at the rewards for these individual tasks and thinking that they're really weak, the direct rewards out of the task maybe aren't the best in the world, but it gives you baubles, and then you can use those baubles to collect more rewards elsewhere. And I'll get into a little bit more detail later on what I mean. All right, and then so as far as the timing of the spend and how much you're going to spend, as I would normally suggest here is take a look at the first couple milestones within these tasks, and you can see here that the 100 and 500 level of spending emeralds is very high return for both events. And then you have another big reward per emerald spent at the very far end of the chart. So as I usually recommend, don't get up to halfway in both of these events if that's all you're going to do. If you've got 100,000 emerald to spend, then don't do 50 in each. Do 90 in the first one and 10 in the second, or the other way around. Although I think the first one's probably where you're going to want to spend. All right, and then this is a full list of the tasks within all 3 of the Winterfest events, and what the value of the emeralds that you might get out of them. And what you'll quickly see here is on the second and third sections here for Waiting for the Holiday and Wintertail are not huge direct payouts, as I mentioned above. Only 13,000 emeralds of value out of a 90,000 emerald spend. That's really low. It would be 30 or 40 out of most of the big events. But the Holiday Everyday does have some really nice return, but there's some tricks to it that you should be careful with. And basically the way that event works is all of the tasks are daily tasks. So you can't do all of Holiday Everyday on day 1. You get the big payout for doing a little bit of it every day. And you can see here the first 5 entries on this list are for sending the different types of gift. And the way that works is the first time you send out each type on each day, the game will reward you with one of those gifts right back to you. So if you find someone in your guild who also needs a skin and you need a skin, you should agree to send them to each other, because you'll send that skin gift out, your guildmate will send you one back, and then Holiday Every Day will reward you with a sending skin gift as well. So, you know, if you're going to get 20 skins out of this event, for example, don't go and send 10 of them on the first day and then call it done, because you're only going to get 1 skin out of the game if you do that. But if you send 1 skin each day for 10 days, then the Holiday Every Day task will give you a skin on each day. So for all 5 of the gift types, I would say never double up, never send more than 1 on a day unless you know that you're going to send at least 1 every day. If you're going to send out 50 of the Ascension gifts, then fine, go ahead and send a whole bunch of them all at once. But if you're going to do 5 or 10, make sure that you do 1 a day to get the most out of these rewards. And not much else to say there. I guess similarly, the pet summoning eggs, you know, it's saying use 42 of them. Again, you can't use all 42 on 1 day. That is going to work out to using 3 each day. So if you've got a lot saved up, that might be 10 each day, but bottom line is don't go in and use all 50 on day 1 thinking you're going to clear out this event. Okay, and then just a recap of probably the most important thing about spending on this event. As I mentioned, don't send more than 1 of a type of a gift on a day unless you're going to send 1 every day. This slide I want to talk about how many skins do you need in Winterfest and what's the best way to exchange them. There are 23 and probably 24 skins available now, 24 winter skins. And if you're someone who has maybe said there are 3 or 4 or 5 that I absolutely need for some of my main set of heroes, then you're probably going to end up needing almost all of them. 20 or more out of the 24 is what you're going to end up needing, if you need even as many as 3 or 4 or 5. And if you need more than that, then you should count on needing all of them. If you really only care about 1 or 2, then you might get lucky. You might still need all 20, but it does not take long before you should just expect to need all of them. And I'll talk a little bit about the math behind that in next step. And then I want to talk also a little bit about how you might organize a gift exchange within your guild. I originally thought I might just kind of leave it up to random conversations with my guild and see who's online at a particular point in time. But then when I saw you get those specific rewards for exchanging each and every day, I thought it might make sense to put a little bit more organization around it to make sure that everyone who wants to do an exchange can do so, even if they don't happen to catch someone else online at the right time. All right, so I put together a little tool that might help you guys. I'll make that public, so it may facilitate those things. I'll do a quick walkthrough of that now. Okay, I'm going to talk really quick here about the basis behind why I say if you need as many as 3 or 5 skins, you're going to end up needing to get all of them. And so what I've done here is I ran 1,000 cases, so the sample size here is like what would 1,000 players would end up getting in Winterfest. And this thing will show you, based on how many skins you need, how many players wound up getting it from opening 1 gift, 2 gifts, 3 on down the line here. So you can see out of people who needed just one gift, in 33 cases out of 1,000, the players got it on their very first opening, and that's 3.3% chance. And you can see here that another 38 and 40 got it on openings 2 and 3, and this column here is just showing you a running sum. So basically what you could conclude from this is roughly 10% of players are going to get it on their third opening or before if they only need one. And so a thing you might want to do there is look at the midpoint and say, 50% of people will get it by 13. And one is one of the least interesting cases that you might look at here, but if you change this to any other number, it'll take a second to recalculate and then show you updated figures. And this is 1,000 cases, so it's a pretty good sample size, but it's not like as big as it could be to show you the ultimate averages over time. But you'll definitely get an idea here. So if you need 2 and you're looking for that 50% mark, you can see that half of the players after 2 skins are going to need to open 18 to get there. If you change this to 3, then the 50% mark is at 20. You change it to 6 or something, then you're nearly guaranteed to get all to get all of them. Only a quarter of people get it in less than 20. 1 out of 10 will get it less than 18. So your odds are getting really good that you'll have to complete the whole set. And if you need half of them, again, very low chances that you're going to get it done without getting all of the skins. All right, this is the sheet that I put together to help my guild with some of their exchanges. As you can see, it's filled in with just example data for now. So you might build something like this for yourself, or I'll release this to the public so you guys can use this template if you like it. And I'll just talk really quick about how it works. So basically you can see the meat of it here is this grid that has a list of dates, players, and the gifts. So this is showing you that Hero's Guide, I came in here, I filled out some of these entries, and this is going to end up being much longer here, but you fill in a date that you're looking to do an exchange, fill in your name, and fill in what type of gift that you're looking for. So I said on day 1 I want all 5, and then your guildmates can come in, and if they also want to do an exchange of a skin on this date, they can put their name in here, and then you're agreeing to exchange them back and forth. And then, once the exchange is actually done, you can mark an X or done or whatever you want to type in here. Basically, if you fill in anything, you're saying that this is done. Then, I filled it out starting for day 1. A couple other people came in here. They're all from Game of Thrones. They put in some things that they wanted to exchange here. Daenerys probably should have filled in Larry's exchange here, but, people aren't perfect. And then I came back in and said, you know what, I want to exchange Ascension gifts every day. And so that's how this works, and I did make a little tool here that will help maintain this as things go on, because this list is going to get pretty long. A lot of the exchanges are going to be done, and you're not going to want to look at them at the top of your list anymore. Say this thing's barely filled out. Some other guildmate comes in and they want to say on the 24th, I want to exchange a Titan artifact gift. Now, so this is down here, which is kind of a bummer because people wouldn't see it. They're going to be looking at the top of the list for what exchanges are happening next. But that's what this will help with. So say, a few of these things are done, probably the ones that were agreed to. Okay, so I'll show the function here. So that's going to remove these ones that are done, clicking this button, and it's going to put the new entry up at the top based on the date. And it's going to group all of the gifts of a like kind together. So that there's just one section for skins for that day and one section for Ascension for that day, etc. Alright, guess I missed the button at first, but yeah, okay, so you can see all the ones where the X was marked, they're gone. The new entry now is here grouped in with the December 24th activity and with the other Titan artifact. All the skin are next to each other. So it should be easy for new people coming in looking to exchange a skin on this day. They can drop their name in here. And if they don't see what they're looking for on a particular day, they can fill it in at the bottom. Sort and filter will put it in the right place. All right, so hope this helps you guys organize things a little bit. If you have people who are not playing all day long, you know, they might want to just have agreed upon exchanges rather than leaving it up to the last minute. All right, moving on then to the dailies that you're going to want to hold off on. If you're a Western player, on Thursday the event will start in the evening as usual, so there are a couple of things that you should hold off on. The Holiday Every Day event is going to have a task for Arena and Tower, and I believe that'll be keyed to the player's day rather than the event day, in which case you'd get a 15th day out of Arena and Tower if you save those. And then there's also a task to run an adventure on the first 7-day event. So if you are going to have any trouble getting one a day in, you might wait to get that done after the event goes live in the evening. And then, once it rolls over, go ahead and get in, complete those dailies, and start sending things out. I believe the gift exchange is maybe another thing that you could get a potential extra day out of if you do that this evening. I'm not 100% sure whether that will be keyed to the event day or to the player's day. Alright guys, I hope this helped. If it did and you think it's going to be useful, please share it with your guild. They may want to take a look at the section at least on the gift exchange if they have any questions about how to use the Google Sheet. Thanks.